So what are the key components to marketing and sales? How do some of the most successful entrepreneurs and business leaders set up freedom frameworks that we all got into business for in the first place? How did they find the time, energy, and resources to launch and scale strong? And how do Rockstar entrepreneurs and business leaders with that champion mindset align their time, money, and energy in a way that will allow us to reach what we set out to achieve? These are the key questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Chamberlain.
And my name is Zach Shanky.
This is the Convert on Command podcast. Thanks for listening to the Convert on Command podcast, sponsored by Convert on Command and Mission Ignition Marketing. If you want to ignite your business and increase your sales, be sure to visit convertoncommand.pro and set up a time that works best for you in the calendar at the bottom of the page under the latest feature video.
Hey guys, what is going on? Zach here with Chapter 10, Draft 2 coming at you. This is called Winning Funnel Secrets. Guys, this is an awesome chapter. I'm really excited to share this with you. So many little secrets in here that people just don't talk about. So you get ready. I hope you're taking notes. We did not have a lot of feedback last quarter from Season 1, from Draft 1. We had 2 of them here. So is there a time when there's too much context? Because we do talk about context versus curiosity, and they get overwhelmed. And there is, and I explained that a little bit here. And then they want some simple math to help clarify the difference. And so I put that in there too. So I'm super excited to share this with you guys. This is going to be great. Chapter 10, Winning Funnel Secrets. Let me zoom in a bit. Boom. Okay, winning funnel secrets is not about the cone used to add oil into your car. A funnel is nothing more than a web page or a series of web pages that have a singular focus and purpose for the visitor to take action on. See, one of the biggest problems with traditional websites is that there are simply too many options. If you click the navigation menu and explore a million things about the business just by going in the navigation menu. The problem is that the average attention span online is 6 seconds. Before 6 seconds are up, the average visitor doesn't even remember why they're there, and they move on with their lives. It has been proven time and time again that having a page that reminds the visitor why they're visiting and then having one action for them to perform will get significantly better results. The purpose behind this chapter is to share with you the secrets behind how and why those funnels work so well. After all, there are hundreds of thousands, maybe if not millions of people who have tried using funnels and did not succeed. I've devoted a lot of my time and energy into examining why a funnel will work or not. The good news is that the chapters in this book have been very strategic in how we structured each step to turning your passion into profit. Back in chapter 7, I mentioned the 3 things needed in marketing to succeed are: number 1, the right audience. Number 2, the right message. Number 3, the right offer. Those 3 things, for the most part, are really what really separates a working funnel versus a failed funnel. Since chapter 7, we have literally covered each of these categories, and you now have a baseline to work from in order to make your funnel super effective. There are just a few more details with strategy that we need to go through to make it even better. I'm going to cover some basic strategy surrounding a funnel and then break down the 4 funnels that we use the most to get results, as well as specific funnel your business should start with. So first concept here we're talking about is context versus curiosity. I have to be honest here, most marketers would argue this one with me and tell me that the key to funnels is curiosity. Long story short, curiosity will get way more volume of leads coming through any funnel, but context will get way more sales through the funnel. See, most marketers judge their marketing on 2 metrics: the cost per click, or CPC, and the cost per lead, or CPL. As the name states, CPC and CPL is how much ad spend it costs to get someone to click or become a lead. The problem with looking at those metrics by themselves is that they don't necessarily equate to more sales. I have seen time and time again both my CPC and my CPL increase, sometimes by as much as 1,000% higher, but my sales increase as well. As I'm writing this book, we're experiencing this in our real estate leads business. For most industries, we get leads from anywhere from $2 to $50, depending on the industry. But for finding people looking to sell their home, each lead is costing us about $150. I recently spoke to another agency that provides seller leads to their clients for about $15 cost per lead. So why are ours so costly? The answer is quality. And this is actually, I'm going to change that to 5 because I think it is 5. The answer is quality. Now for the secret. Context equals quality. I looked at the other agency's funnel and I found this. Find out what your home is worth. Analyze property, and you put in they put in their address, you click analyze property. It's so bad. That's it. Does this talk about why they should sell their home now versus next year? Does this talk about selling their home at all? What they're finding is that people are coming through. They just want to be able to put a value to their home, a value on their home. Most are not looking to sell at all. I asked more about why the realtor is okay with this approach, and the response was this. Well, our client understands that it's impossible to get people that are looking to sell their homes right now. So they just want a list of people that are looking in the future so he can keep following up with them. I'm pretty sure I threw up in my mouth a little bit, which is an example of unwanted context. Okay, ours, and here's a screenshot. You can see it's very, very long. You may not be able to see every word on that page because of how small the picture is, but you can see how long it is. We talk about what they're reading. We'll cover headlines here in a minute. Number 2, why they should sell now. Number 3, what happens if they don't sell now. Number 4, who's best positioned to sell. Number 5, who we are and how we can help. Number 6, the next step. And number 7, a gift that we give them via email as a bonus enticement. Each lead costs us $150, and each one is ready to sell within 3 months, a realtor's dream and thought to be impossible. So here's the quick math. Option A above with 0 context will get leads for about $5 per lead. The agency would then sell the realtor 100 leads for about $1,500 or $15 per lead. And the poor realtor has to call all 100 people and get maybe one house if they're lucky. Option B, with loads of context, will get leads for about $150 per lead. The agency would then sell the realtor 5 leads for $2,500, which is $500 per lead. And the happy realtor will only spend time with 5 people. Of those 5 people, they'll have at least 3 homes. Most realtors make about $10K per home sold, so a total revenue of $30,000 for the realtor. Context equals quality. One question I get a lot is whether or not you can add too much context and confuse or overwhelm the prospect. The answer is yes, but the key to avoid this is simply by sticking to the what, not the how. For example, this book, Passion of Profits, is teaching a lot of the how, and many people feel overwhelmed the first time they go through the process. That's not the point of a funnel. The high-level purpose of the funnel is to present and offer how to get from A to B. Okay, you're presenting what the offer is. The offer itself is the how. So the funnel and context describe what they'll be getting, not how to accomplish point B. Okay, if you stick to the what, there is no such thing as too much context. You cannot give too much what context. Okay. 3 concepts of written persuasion. So this is the next bit. The next bit of strategy to keep in mind is to have the following 3 concepts on each page of your funnel. Number 1, emotion. Number 2, logic. Number 3, fear. Now, let me provide some context here before you start questioning the fear part. I want to go in order, but rest assured, fear does not mean threats or anything insane, okay? Let's go with number 1, emotion. Emotion can typically be covered in the headline. The best way to draw out someone's emotions is to call out their pain, specify the result they're looking for, and overcome their biggest objection. By doing that, they will immediately correlate their emotions surrounding the problem your business can solve for them. Going back to the real estate example, we have the headline, How we help you get 20 to 50% more for your home in the current market without grueling guesswork and heartache, even if you have no idea, if you had no idea you were sitting on a gold mine. I'll be breaking that headline down in a little bit so you can make your own. But what I want to point out here is that we are investigating emotion. We are instigating emotion with that headline. Instigating. I don't know how to spell that. I'll look that up. Instigating. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, and I've been doing that my whole life. Anyway, emotion with the headline. When a person who is thinking about selling, or it has at least crossed their mind, when they read that headline, they immediately start to get emotional. Maybe they start to think about some financial challenges they're having and how selling their house can be a solution to that. Maybe they start thinking about that about their parents' house. Sorry, guys. Little mistypes here. Their parents' house, they continue to maintain now that they're in a retirement home, which brings with it even more emotion. Okay. Or maybe they're an investor and immediately realize they have a massive opportunity sitting in front of them. However they interpret the headline, it will turn into some form of emotion. Okay. Number 2, logic. Once someone gets metaphorically hit with a dose of emotion, okay, it's important to follow up with some logic. See, when a person feels any kind of negative emotion, the brain releases a chemical called cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone released whenever you can't agree on a movie or date night, or if someone's holding a gun to your head. Okay, this is why a lot of stress feels like it's life or death. I can't tell you how many times I felt that my life was over because I didn't get that sale, or my wife and I had a bad argument. That's the work of cortisol. When cortisol is introduced, the brain immediately looks for any form of explanation to hopefully alleviate that feeling. That's why it's crucial to add in some logic. So back to real estate. The headline introduces self-induced emotions, instigating, inducing. Let's just call it inducing up here. We are inducing emotion. Anyway, I think it's a better word anyways. So the headline introduces self-induced emotions. And then the very next section talks about the housing market and how it's up 23% since 2019. And then go on to say how realtors have at least 5 to 20 buyers lined up for every house they put on the market. And so on about why the market, couldn't put some dots here. And so on about why the market is perfectly positioned for those wanting to sell their home. Logic. Now the cortisol level goes down and it becomes a new chemical called serotonin, which basically helps the prospect feel more excitement than anything else. Okay. 3, fear, which finally leads us to fear. Fear in this sense can be summed up as one of 2 things: urgency or scarcity. So if we're selling ABC supplement and we're on this step, we can say something like, this amazing price is literally only available until the timer runs out. And of course, there has to be a timer on the page. This is an example of urgency. Or we're only offering ABC supplement at this price to the first 10 buyers, so get it now. This is an example of scarcity. It's really important to have an element like this on your funnel pages. For real estate, after talking about logic, we lay out the choice they have to make. They could ignore this page and wait until next year, which could lead to a lot of regret as the market will not be likely as primed for selling next year. Or they can take action now and have a conversation with one of our realtors so they don't miss this opportunity. That's an urgency message. So decide what's best for you and your products and services. Okay, now we're on to headline breakdown. Let's get back to the emotional headline. How we help you get 20 to 50% more for your home in the current market without grueling guesswork and heartache, even if you had no idea you were sitting on a gold mine. In order to break this down, you will need to refer to the Freedom Map from Chapter 7. Here's the formula: how we can get you result without pain, even if objection or challenge. And actually, we like to say obstacle. Let's use our ABC supplement to create a new headline with that formula. As a recap, the Freedom Map we created in ABC supplement in chapter 7 has the following pains, results, and objections. So the pains are overweight, disgusted by their own appearance, too much going on to add losing weight to their mental bandwidth. Results they want: lose weight, have energy, look great. Objections: no time, healthy diet is expensive, I've tried a million things, nothing works. Please note a couple of things before we make this headline. Number one, you do not have to have the formula down to a T. You can switch up some words if it makes sense with the context. For example, sometimes you can do without objection if that makes sense. Okay? As long as you have or imply a pain, a result, an objection in the headline, it's good. Keep an open mind. Number two, keep an open mind and expect to change it once you get traffic in. The data will determine what combination will work best. I'll give you a couple of examples that I would use for ABC supplement if that was a real thing. How we help you lose weight and feel great without spending hours each week cooking organic foods, even if you've tried a million things in the past. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's the pain? The pain in this example is implied. Okay. So by saying without spending hours each week cooking organic foods, I'm actually touching on the mental bandwidth issue. I know I'm getting a little deep with that example, but sometimes it just makes sense. Here's another one that's a little bit more straightforward. How we help you lose weight and feel great so you don't feel disgusted looking in the mirror, even if you think you're too busy for healthy habits. I changed without to so you because it just made more sense. The real point I want to get across in that formula is nothing more than a starting point. Okay. The real point I want to get across is that the formula is nothing more than a starting point. Once you have some type of headline, I want you to write it again by adding more details. For example, if I take the headline I just wrote, I can change it to this: how we help you lose 10 pounds before summer so you don't feel disgusted when you go to the beach, even if you think you're too busy for healthy habits. See how it's the same headline, but some extra details. If I was promoting my services to Miami, Florida, that would work way. This is also why we went through the ideal avatar in chapter 7, because now you should have enough insight to make detailed changes like that, catered to your avatar. Again, keep in mind the formula above is a guideline, not a rule. Yay, Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay? The real gold is when you point out or at least imply a pain, a result, an objection, and you add in some key detail. Okay, moving on. Funnel types. At this point in the chapter, you have an understanding of what a funnel is, context versus curiosity, and you understand having emotion, logic, and fear on each page, and about how to generate an amazing and effective headline. Okay. Now it's time to put it all together and decide what funnel strategy is right for you. There are 4 main funnels that we use over and over again. Okay. We have a lead funnel, calendar funnel, webinar funnel, sales funnel. Each of these funnels has a purpose, and actually, honestly, guys, we actually came up with a lead calendar funnel. Okay, it's like a combo, and I'll update this for the next draft. But this is still fantastic. So each of these funnels has a purpose and works for specific businesses depending on where they are in their growth. Let's break down each one, talk about some basic layouts for them and why they should or should not use that specific strategy. Number 1, lead funnel. Lead funnels are the simplest of the bunch and tend to be the easiest as long as your messaging is on point. Essentially, a lead funnel consists of 2 pages, the opt-in page and the thank you page, like this. So we have some kind of traffic, opt-in page, thank you page. The green icon simply represents any form of traffic, which we'll talk about in the future as well. The entire purpose of a lead funnel is to generate leads. A lead is someone willing to give up their name, email, and sometimes more data like phone number in exchange for something. The thing they can get can be a free quote or estimate, a checklist, a guide, etc. Those are called lead magnets and are only effective if it's something your target audience would want. I'm going to highlight this, guys, because this can be, we actually refer to these now as gifts. So We've done this successfully with free courses, ebooks, guides, checklists, and even comparison videos, like which software is best kind of thing. The benefit here is really having their email and phone number. That way you can set up some emails, text messages, and even voicemail drops to send the new lead automatically and hopefully warm them up to some sort of sale. So calendar funnels. I have to be honest, right now, as I'm writing this, calendar funnels are our favorite, okay? We actually have a new favorite. Again, I'm gonna update this. So this draft, all I did is I updated based on the questions that were asked. So I need to now update this in terms of what we're doing today. So calendar funnels are our favorite. If you were thinking about a lead funnel and it was going to be a free consultation or something like that, you should do this one instead. Okay. The purpose of a calendar funnel is to get someone to sign up on your calendar. Then, while you're on the phone with them, you can sell them whatever you like. Remember in chapter 8, Brian mentioned the 3 buckets: DIY, DWY, and DFY. That's do it yourself, done with you, done for you. If you have all 3 of those done, you can simply direct the prospect on the phone to whatever package fits them best, whether they prefer saving time or money. Basically, this is a very simple funnel that has the ultimate flexibility. Also, sales are way easier over the phone or on Zoom calls instead of trying to get automatic sales, which we'll get into. So calendar funnels are for you if you're just getting the business started or if your product or service is more than $1,000. Ultimately, we recommend this funnel to everyone. Even if you have a booming business, you need to do this at least 1 month every year just to stay in front of clients and to actually talk with them. The amount of information you get from actually talking with your audience is priceless. Before moving on, bear in mind that, is that the right bear? I don't know. Bear in mind that the calendar page is not just a calendar like a graphic, like the graphic suggests. Okay. The page should be full of context. The real estate example above is a calendar funnel, and we have loaded it with context. I'm just looking at this real quick here, guys. So one thing that some people might not want to talk to people, and I ought to make a note about that. So some people don't want to talk with audience. So our advice to business, they would rather just do something automatic. It depends on where you're at in business, right? So like if you are actually making a ton of sales in some way, shape, or form, then you might not need that. But if you're not making sales in some way, shape, or form, then you kind of need to get over it and like swallow your ego and talk to people, because it's the best way to generate a cash flow and to get the data so that you can get the automatic cash flow later on, which is actually a future book. Okay. So, also, before they submit a time on the calendar, make sure to ask them 5 to 10 questions. That will help qualify people looking to sign up. For our real estate funnel, we ask them these questions: full name, email, phone number, postal code. Do you own your own home? How much did you purchase your home for originally? Estimate is fine. Have you tried selling your home on your own? If this was a good fit and you were in the market, when would you like to sell? With all that information, naturally leads are going to cost a lot more, but the payoff is massive. Funnel number 3, webinar funnels. I feel like webinar funnels are the perfect transition from calendar funnels. Calendar funnels lets you test out your offers and messages to see if they will work, to see what will work and what won't work. A webinar funnel is a funnel where people register to watch some type of training video. At the end of the video, there's a value stack and offer where they can buy on their own without a phone call. The philosophy here is that through the video, you can establish enough trust and rapport for them to make a buying decision. We do not recommend doing this unless you've done a calendar funnel already. Okay. A webinar only works if you speak in a way that makes the viewer feel like you know them personally. Once you have that under your belt, then webinars can be very effective for offers between $100 to $1,000. I've seen webinars sell up to $10,000 before, but I don't recommend that for most people unless you're very experienced at webinars. Here's an example of what it looks like. Okay, so we've got traffic to a webinar to a webinar. There's an opt-in page missing here. I have to fix that. It's supposed to be here. I'm going to make a note of that too. Traffic. No, opt-in registration page. Okay. So it's supposed to be traffic to a registration page, and then webinar replay, where they watch the webinar, and then they go to the sales, the order form, and thank you page. You can see there's a lot more work involved, okay, with how many pages and what kinds of tech integrations will be needed. Still, we've run successful webinar campaigns, and when it works, it's a beautiful thing. Number 4, sales funnels. This is the last strategy in our list. Sales funnels are for an established business entrepreneur, someone who has enough evidence and results to back up their products and services. As an example here, we have a very high-level coach on our roster. He has unbelievable testimonials from students who grew their business 300% under his guidance. We were able to leverage those results and make a sales funnel that works well. Typically, you want to start with something kind of low. In this case, we have a $37 offer right up front. From there, you can add pages after the first page in order to increase the average amount each buyer spends. That added page is called an upsell. Here's what it looks like. So you got traffic, goes to a sales page, goes to an order form to buy the $37 product, goes to an upsell where they can buy a higher costing product, and then the thank you page. The amazing thing here is that you start to recuperate your marketing budget right away with the upfront sale, and then you become profitable with the upsell. Okay, I should say upsell. People are much more likely to buy from you if they've already bought from you once before. This is where most people want to get to, an automated sales process that is 100% scalable. However, my caution to you is that you take your time getting here, okay? If you don't have that messaging, audience, and offer dialed in just right, this sales funnel could be a cash flow drain instead of a money generator. When we first start to work with clients, we always suggest they either a lead funnel or calendar funnel to start. Lead funnels work well with some of our clients who already have a sales team ready to call the leads that come in. But even with those clients, we're moving to shift them over to a calendar as well. We just found the lead cost is higher, but the chances of sale goes up to almost 75%. Normal leads close at 10%. That's worth it. Once you get some solid calendar sales through, you don't stop the funnel. Instead, you add a webinar funnel to test against it. Once the webinar funnel is generating sales automatically, it's up to you whether or not you turn off the calendar. But again, you need to run that again at least 1 month out of the year. Ideally, you should run it once a quarter, 4 times a year, to really stay on top of your market. After the webinar funnel is successful, you can develop a solid product to run traffic using a sales funnel, and that's how you reach the masses. It's time to take your passion and change the world. These strategies will help you get there. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed chapter 10. So many things about funnels, guys. We actually talked about 5 things with a funnel. Okay, we did context versus curiosity. Okay, context is better. Context equals quality, right? We talked about emotion, logic, fear. Let me get to it so I don't miss anything. Emotion, logic, fear. Emotion with the headline, logic right afterwards to kind of calm down the emotion. And then the fear part, urgency or scarcity, right? And then what we talked about was a headline, a breakdown of the headline and how that works. I feel like I'm missing something too here. Breakdown of the headline. And then now we're talking, and then we talked about the funnel types. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. So yeah, well, here it is. So what a funnel is, context versus curiosity, emotion, logic, and fear, and then how to generate a headline plus finally, the 4 main funnels that we use, which is the lead funnel, calendar funnel, webinar funnel, sales funnel, soon to be updated with a gift funnel, which is amazing. So that, guys, you can use this. Oh my gosh, everything up to this point leads to this, the actual creation of your funnel, which once you add traffic to it, that's the end game. I mean, then you can just, you take over the world, you know? So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Looking forward to your feedback for those of you in the inner circle, and I will see you in the next chapter.
Thanks for listening to the Convert on Command podcast, sponsored by Convert on Command and Mission Ignition Marketing. If you want to ignite your business and increase your sales, be sure to visit convertoncommand.pro and set up a time that works best for you in the calendar at the bottom of the page under the latest feature video.